All right, area.
What is area? Area refers to the amount of space inside a two-dimensional figure. Area is always measured in square units. So it could be square centimeters, or square inches, or square feet, square yards, square meters, square miles, just whatever unit you're working with the perimeter. You just say that it's squared instead, and that just means it's a square with those dimensions. Like if it was a square centimeter, it would be a square that's 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. Because we can't fill in an area with just distance. We have to have square units to fill. Okay, so let's start with the formula for the area of a square. A square is just a special kind of rectangle where the two sides are the same length. So instead of having to differentiate between one length and another length, they're the same length. They're both the same. So we just say it's this side times that side, so side squared. Right? And that side squared just means we're going to multiply the side times the side. Side times side. That stands for. Okay. So let's find the area of the square in question 1. Square in question 1 is 3 yards by 3 yards. So 3 times 3, what's the area? 3 times 3 is 9, so it would be 9 square yards. You could actually write out the word square. Or if you want to do less writing, I like you've all written that down. I'm going to show you the less writing way to do it. Square yards would be to just write 9 yards with a little square. Write that whole thing a little bit so that it doesn't get mixed in with the other stuff. Okay, now we get to go backwards. Here's a square that's 11 yards, and the area is 121 square yards. It's a little square telling us its unit is square yards. This one's pretty easy. We can do this 2 different ways. One way we can do it is realize, oh, side times side is area, so we can take area divided by side to get the other side, right? So we could do 121 divided by 11 to get the answer. There's an easier way to do this, and that's the fact that it's square. So if one side is 11, what's the other side going to be? 11, right? They have to be the same. That only works for squares. And it's possible maybe we didn't know to begin with that it was a square. Maybe we only knew that it looks like a square. You can't assume that something's a square. The right angles in it tell us that we can assume it's a rectangle. And so then, since we're not sure if it's a square or not, that's a good reason to have done the problem this way, by division. If we knew it was a square, then we can use this side. But since it's on this page on the area of squares, that's kind of what it is. That's not how problems in real life are, unless you absolutely know you're trying to build a square. Susan wants to put a square patio in her backyard. If each side is 12 feet, what would the area of the patio be? As you know, I like to draw a picture. Just going to start with a picture. Each side is going to be 12 feet. What's the area of the patio going to be? So all we have to do is go 12 times 12. You guys know what that number is? 144 square feet. 144 is a really cool number because it's a perfect square. It has a ton of different factors that will divide into it. But it's also a Fibonacci number. It's one of the numbers in Fibonacci sequence. So it just has all sorts of coolness about it. I don't know if you know that 144 is also known as a gross. So if you have a gross of eggs, that means you have 144 eggs, 12 dozen eggs. Anyway. Javier found a sweet deal on a square hot tub with an area of 81 square feet. What will be the length of each side of the hot tub? So this time we don't even know the length of a side, question mark. We just know that it's 81 square feet. So this time we're going to use our formula backwards. Remember our formula is s squared, right? So 81 equals s squared. Do you guys know how to get rid of a square in an algebra problem? So all you have left is an answer that's not squared. There's a certain math thing we use to get rid of squares, the opposite of squares. It's called a square root. Get rid of square with a square root. So the same algebra rules we always use apply. What we do to one side, we do to the other side. So we're going to square root both sides of our equation. We're going to square root to 81. We're going to square root the s squared. And the result of square rooting s squared is that the square and the square root cancel each other out because they're opposites. So then all we have to do is the square root of 81. Now technically when you do the square root of a number, you get two answers. Positive answer and a negative answer. But we're talking about the length of a hot tub. Do we care about the negative answer? No, because this is a real life square with a positive distance length, right? Sometimes it makes sense to remember there's a negative answer, and other times it really doesn't matter at all. So we're not going to worry about it in this case. So what is the length of a side of our hot tub? What's the square root of 81? Well, check it out. You got 9, you are correct. So the length of our hot tub is 9 by 9. Is 9 times 9 is 81. So the square root of 81 is 9. All right.